Today in this video we are going to explore about the plugins module into the Codex. In this series we are trying to explore that how I can use Codex in a step-by-step manner. Into the previous two videos we have seen that how you can work with file and folder, and also we have seen a brief introduction about the Codex. Okay, so into your Codex, into the top left bar you have an option, something which is called plugins, which you see here at the top, which I have highlighted, and plugins will open something like this which you see on the screen. Now to better understand the plugin, let me show you and explain you this infographic which you see on the screen. Okay, so we have this part which is Codex, right? And into the last video we have seen that Codex can work inside the file, Codex can work inside the folder. We created some of the Excel file, we created some of the code. It was able to do everything, but that was all inside the project folder, right? However, it was also able to read and write Excel into our local folder as well. Read files, create file, all of that. And on top of that, we have also seen that Codex was able to use the chat interface. With the help of the chat, we were able to write the code, and all of this was happening very well. Now, let's say today I have a situation. I say to Codex that Codex, go ahead and create a weekly study plan for me. So Codex will go, it will write the code using this, create a study plan, and maybe put it back into the folder. However, this works. But now my additional requirement is I want Codex to put this plan into my calendar, Google Calendar. Now I would need something in between to connect my Codex to my Google Calendar. The other situation could be, once I have created that plan, I want Codex to send it via an email, or maybe I have written some code which generates something and I want to store it into GitHub. I am going to create some image something and I want to edit it with Canva. So that means that's where I would actually need something to connect Codex and the other things. And that's why you would need something which is called a plugin. Now, if I just go by the definition, what is a plugin? So a plugin is a connector that connects the Codex and the other apps or the services. So basically, if you want to have a connector between your Codex and the other app and services, you need something which is called a plugin. Without the plugin, as I mentioned, you can only work with local files, you can work with chat. Codex can work with only this local chat files and folder available. However, once you have the plugin available, with the help of plugin, you can actually connect to many other things, such as I can create calendar invites, I can create GitHub issues, I can actually deploy my code, or I can also pull my designs from Figma. So, which simply means that Codex plugins let Codex take action into the another tools and the services. Hence, in simple words, plugin turn Codex from coding assistant into an agent that can actually work across the tools, right? So I hope you now understand what exactly is a plugin and why this is important. If you have understood, please put down in the comment plugin so that I understand that you guys are able to follow along. Okay, now let's see some of the practical demonstrations. Now to better understand Codex, I have created a new thread into the Codex, and let's try to do something very simple. I'll just copy paste a prompt. Something like, let's take the same example where I was saying that I want to create a weekly study plan, right? So I can just say here and say that create a weekly study plan to learn Codex, right? In, let's say, 4 weeks and 8 sessions, something like this, right? So I'm just saying that I want to learn Codex and I have given some set of inputs to Codex, right? Now what is happening, if you see that I have not yet connected to any of the plugins, so it has given me all the complete plan as it is into this chat, right? Next thing what I can do is I can always ask Codex to put this thing back into an Excel, and which we have already seen that when we connect it to file and folder, it should be able to put this into my Excel as well. However, things become interesting when I say that now actually I want to put all of this plan into my Google Calendar. Now, do I have access to my Google Calendar, or in other words, does Codex have access to my Google Calendar? The answer is no, right? So now let me try to go here and try to see if I just write here, add this plan to my Google Calendar. Let's see what happens. I can do that, but I will need access to your Google Connector, and this has to be created as an event. Now it is asking me that manage Google events and schedule, and it is asking me to install the Google Calendar. Now I have a button here which is called install, and that should install the plugin. Okay. Before even that is started for Google Calendar, if you go to the top, and on the top left you see something which is called plugins. I'll come to the chat again. Now into the plugins, if I search here Google Calendar, so these are the two ways of adding the same thing. As you can see that we have something here which is called a plugin. So Google Calendar has a plugin which is available here. It has all these things, you can read about that. However, it is not yet connected. So to install the plugin, either I can go here and click on this plus button, this will install the plugin, or the other way is during your Codex thing, when you actually are trying to do something, Codex is able to identify that you are looking for something which is called Google Calendar. I can just go here and I say install, and you would see that it is trying to get the same thing, and I'll just say install the Google Calendar. Okay, and that opens the Gmail for me, where it is asking me that which account you want to connect. I want to connect my tutorials by Mukesh Kala @gmail.com. I say connect. This is the authentication which I am providing to OpenAI. I just use my password. Once that is done, you provide the verification. You would see that it is here trying to install the Google Calendar, and then you have a button here which is continue. So if I click on continue, what happens that I can do that, but great, the calendar is now connected, available now. Now I am checking all the tools, and it would be able to schedule my plugin with this, right? Now if I go back to my plugins tab, and let's go and see what happens to the Google Calendar now. So previously, if you notice that into the Google Calendar, it was showing a plus symbol. However, now I have connected it. So this plugin is connected with Codex, and that's why you see that tick. And now if you open, you can see that what it can do. You have full control on that, right? By the way, if I go back here, you could see that what has happened. For example, Tuesdays, I'll add them to this, and maybe I'll just say that continue with whatever it suggested. You got the drill, that you can just go and keep on giving the instruction. And now the expectation is what should happen, that it should go to my Google's calendar and add all these as the study plan. Previously, it was only able to do it on the file and folder, but not to your real application, right? So with the help of plugin, I am able to do that. And then every time it is asking, so you have an option here, you can say that allow for this chat and allow. So every time I do not want to keep saying allow, allow, allow. Remember last time we talked about permission, that's the same thing. So this time I have allowed it for all the chat. So what is happening in the background, it is going to create all those events one by one for me, right? We'll just wait and let's see how it performs the task. Okay, so it says done. I have added the 8 Codex study plan. Let's go to the browser and validate the same. So this is my same account, tutorials by Mukesh Kala @gmail.com. I can go to the calendar and let's try to see what we have got in the calendar. And you could see here, right? So the Codex has added all the 8 weeks in my plan. Codex study plan, session 1, session 2, session 3 and all. How cool is that, right? Now, the other good part is, now since you have connected it to your Google Calendar, same way you could actually connect it with the other Google services like sending email, receiving email, and you can ask a lot of things. So for example, if I just say here and I say give me the top email sender from my mailbox. So basically I'm not even going to the account. You can just keep on chatting with your agent / Codex assistant here, and it can just give you all the details. You can ask it that summarize the top 10 emails for me, see what is in my calendar, who have sent me the email. You can ask it to draft an email and send it as well. So it says that I have found 198 email mailbox. Now I am into 2 batches, whatever it is, and then you should be able to see the thing back into this thing. So this is what my mailbox has. It has email from Google, Neo4j, some OpenAI funding, API and something like that, right? It says that top sender in your mailbox is Neo4j, 25 email, all these things. How cool is that, right? Now into this screen, you have all these plugins for different applications which are available here. You have featured one, you have for coding, you have for designing, you have for lifestyle, productivity. All these different plugins are available here. Now at any point of time, if you do not want the plugin, you can simply click on that and you have this option here which is called disable. So once you disable it, you won't be able to use the same plugin into your chats. At any point of time, if you simply want to delete it, that also I'll show. So you can just go to plugins. There is something at the top which is manage, and here you would see all the plugins which you have connected. Like I have used Figma, calendar and all. If you don't want it, you can simply go and just disable and enable it like this. If you completely want to delete, you have these 3 dots here and you have an option to delete that. This setting is available into the plugin, and at the top you have something which is called manage. Okay, you have a search button here. Let's say if you want to search any particular plugin, you can search the plugin name by here, and then if you want to create your new plugin, you can just go and create a new plugin by using this button which is the create plugin. Now back to my chat, and here you can see that Codex has also mentioning that you can use @ to use the plugin or mention file. So for example, you could say something like read the emails from, and you put @ and then you can see that these are all the plugins which are available for you, and these are all the plugins which I have installed. So you can use @ or you can simply use this plus button, and then you can also use the plugin from here. Isn't it great, right? So once you have added it, you can do it like this. Now for example, you can also do something with GitHub, Figma. Let's try to do something with GitHub, right? So I say create a Python code that says something like subscribe to the channel, a little bit branding, and then I say TBMK, which is tutorials by Mukesh Kala, and add it to the GitHub repository, or maybe GitHub repo. So now this time I have given 2 tasks to Codex. One is that it should create a Python code that should simply say subscribe to the channel tutorials by Mukesh Kala, and after that it should add it to the GitHub repository. Okay, so now you will see that I am using a default permission, so which means that every time it is going to ask me for some of the task. Okay, so we'll just wait for what it does. And for all of this, if you remember from our previous lessons, if you go and click on this one, you should be able to see the terminal, and you can actually run the Python code and files from by just toggling the terminals on and off, right? So I say yes, because I want to initialize the Git now. So Git is now initialized. I'll stage and commit just the script and then check the GitHub repositories. Okay. Now you can see that it has created a Python file for me, but it says that there is no GitHub configured yet, right? So now I have to configure my GitHub. To configure the GitHub, I can go to plugins, and then you can see that I have something which is called GitHub, and then add to my GitHub. Now if you want to simply add it to any of the repository, you can just go here and add the repository link, or I can simply say that add the py file to this. That's it, right? So it was able to find out that, Mukesh, this is your actual repository which I was able to find from the GitHub, which I have connected again, and then it is simply going to add the same file to my Codex branch. And now it says that I have added it to this path. So let me click on that, and you can see that this was my Codex demo repository, and this was the file subscribe tbmk subscribe to the channel was added with just one name. How cool is that, right? So by just using the plugin, I was able to connect my chat interface directly to applications. Now all of this is available into the plugins for you. You have another option here, which is something like this, which is called try in the chat. If you click on that, that will directly open that thing from here, and this plugin will be automatically installed for you, right? So all of this is available for you to explore here. I just wanted to give you a view that how does the plugin look like. Next time we are going to deep dive into something which is called skills, right? So today we have just talked about plugins. You can just try to go back to your Codex, try to install some of the plugin, because till the time you don't explore all of this, you won't get familiar, right? So with that, wrapping this video here, I hope this session was insightful, and now if somebody asks you that what exactly are plugins in the Codex, you have an answer for that, right? So with that, wrapping this video here, thank you so much for watching. If you like this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next one. Bye.